Let's get you a very interesting conversation that we had. This is a conversation that Anuj had with Raamdeo Agrawal in Ayodhya. He's there for the, inauguration of the temple. And they spoke about a wide-ranging, discussion on various parts of the market where he really sees the possibility of religious tourism in India, thanks to the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. So listen in. This is a snippet of that very interesting conversation.
It's wonderful. The temperature here is 5 degrees. We are feeling
must be less than 5. I think
less
right
than
now
5. Yeah. So we are at the banks of Saryu River, and we are feeling as if we are on the top of Himalayas. Absolutely foggy. Wonderful it is. I think the day is expected to be bright and sunny. Temple inauguration was absolutely picture perfect. Modi ji came, Yogi ji came, all the trust authorities. Logistics, very important thing is they have international quality airport, and roads are beautiful. I stayed in Ayodhya Bhavan. They are also very good. So all the facilities are good, and the riverside is developed very well. I think this city is on the way to become one of the spots in the country, and it will rise like rocket, I'm sure. And so I think a new temple town is in making. Of course, Ayodhya is an old town, but now new Ayodhya is coming up around the temple and the kind of people who are going to come. So it's going to be interesting to see how this city rises and what the authorities do to harness the potential of religious tourism.
Absolutely. You got a chance, of course, to see the temple with the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and he was there, of course, with the entire industrialist lobby. How was that experience?
That was, I think we reached there by 9:30, and actual function happened about 2:33 or something like that. So it was 6-7 hours of this thing, beautiful in the open on the backdrop of the temple. And when the temple got opened, it was the first, we were the first round of 2,000 people to enter, and it is fully decorated. I think it will be some time. It was most special occasion. So right now, I think temple is decked up with all kinds of flowers, beautiful flowers, and this weather. So I think it's a very unique darshan, and we had a peaceful darshan out there. I went twice actually, and really, I think what I would say, a great place is.
Absolutely.
Has come into being. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a historical moment.
Absolutely historical moment. A word on the market, Raamdeo, given that, we are, of course, today we had a good opening for the market. We had a bit of a correction after HDFC Bank's numbers. But what have you made of the earnings picture so far and the market?
I've seen the aggregates. My head of research is not willing to cut the earnings so far, but it looks a bit tepid in the sense that the overall aggregate earnings, because of consumers and all, are not. The growth is very, kind of weak. So I think, let's see, the demand side looks to be a little weaker, but as the earnings progresses, the automobiles and other sector, defense and capex goods companies, they report, capital market companies, they report. So I think let's see we are in the earnings season. Let's wait for 10-15 days more and get the aggregates. But doesn't seem to be a blowout quarter to me.
Okay. But the concerns on banking, is it genuine? Do you think it's something which could derail the market a bit?
Not derail the market. It can slow down the earnings growth in the BFSI side, because the deposit movement, the deposit accretion to the banking system is slower, particularly the low-cost deposits of SA, that savings account, is low, is weak rather, because people are preferring coming to the capital markets and looking at stock market kind of options for alternative deployment, and that kind of reduces the mix of the deposits and raises the cost of the deposit and liability. So the NIM is under pressure, and if NIM is under pressure, what is the saving grace is that loan demand is good, so you can grow at 18-20% because system growth is 15%. So you can grow at 20-25% in terms of volume, and that gives you some operating leverage. So the combination of volume and operating leverage that cushions the pressure on the NIM, and hence profitability could be saved. But how bad this deposit flight will be in the quarters to come, that only time can.
Okay. Since we are in Ayodhya and we've been talking a lot about the travel and the tourism and all these kind of stocks, and we've seen a big rally, whether it's the railway stocks, whether it's the airport stocks, airlines. I mean, we have only one proper listed stock now. What do you make of that?
Yeah, so see, as far as travel is concerned, you have seen the kind of possibility. I mean, just Ayodhya. I think between Mumbai and Ayodhya, and I don't know, all the metro cities, they'll connect to Ayodhya. I think they can have probably few hundred flights daily. You can do morning, evening, shuttles you can do. And you can just develop a huge economic boom for Ayodhya and the aviation industry just out of one city. And there are so many cities where people have faith and reasons to. So I think the possibility for this kind of economic development is huge. And I think there is a momentum in the economy. There is a momentum in the government tax revenues. That leading to what you call capex boom and the continuity of this regime. So I think we'll see in June, July whether there is a further push. There will be, I'm sure. There will be further push, and then they have not used one of the tools, that is the divestment tool, securitization of the government holdings. That portion, I'm sure in 24-25 budget there will be a lot more push. Valuations are attractive now. In fact, 6 months back it was the lowest in the history, and now it is probably highest in the history. I think governments must, and it is also necessary to cool the market down, to bring the sanity. And so I think it will be very interesting. They will have earnings growth, good demand, but also one should be careful the government flow will come.
That's a very sane view that you put, Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal. One last word, since you are someone who talks to FIIs also, you have a AMC of your own, you have a large institutional brokerage and some part of retail brokerage as well. You basically know about each and every sort of investor in the market right now. We have seen a lot of retail inflow. We have seen some FII outflow. What's your sense about this year?
See, today morning I was reading the what do you call decimation of Chinese market. It is economy is doing fine, 4-5% growth is there. So economy is not in such a bad shape. But I was reading the thing. They are saying that they have lost 20% of the market. I think $6 trillion they have lost in last 1.5 years. And I was looking at few companies. There is no company. I mean, I looked at few companies. They all are single-digit multiples, 11, 9, 10 P multiples. But there is no earnings growth. And earnings have slowed down. I think aggregate consensus earnings are down by 7-8% forward 12 months. Just the contrast is India, where earnings growth is 10-15%. So, and that is what is holding the market. So what is important is to see that earnings continue, the demand doesn't weaken in the economy. So capital goods side looks good, but consumer side looks to be a little weaker. So I think authorities and the budgets, I think that should take care of, maybe interest rate cuts will also cushion the consumer demand.
Interesting conversation over there.